onwards, we are going to discuss about methods and techniques of repertorization. So, methods of repertorization. What is method of repertorization? So, methods of repertorization is a logical or prescribed practice of making use of suitable repertory in a given case to find out the most similar medicine efficiently with accuracy. Every repertory follows its own philosophy and construction suitable for different type of cases. As we discussed in the past lectures, that every repertory has its own philosophical background, and according to its philosophical background, it was constructed. Methods have been evolved as per the given philosophy underlying each repertory. So, according to the philosophical background, there are different methods of repertorization. Each case has its own dimension which decides the selection of repertory, and every repertory has its own method of repertorization. This also we discussed in the previous lectures. So there are four main methods of repertorization. There are many more methods of repertorization about which we will discuss later on, but the main four methods of repertorization are there. First one is Boning-Hussein's method, then second is Kent's method, then Boger's method and clinical method. So one by one we discuss about each method of repertorization. Boning-Hussein's method of repertorization. So as Boning-Hussein's philosophy, all of you know about the philosophy of Dr. Boning-Hussein, for which thing he gave importance, and in his repertory also in Boning-Hussein's therapeutic pocket book, as we discussed in the classification of repertory, he gave importance to complete symptom. That means he gave importance to location, sensation, modality and concomitant, as well as when we cannot found the concomitants separately, or sorry, modalities separately for each and every symptom, then we can consider the modality of one part as a whole person's modality by considering the man as a whole. At that time we grant generalize the patient, we grant generalize the symptoms, and we are not considering the one part or one body. So this is the philosophy of Dr. Boning-Hussein, and his repertories are also based on the same philosophy. So this Boning-Hussein's method, this method is applicable when the case is dominated by physical symptoms, which can be arranged as a few complete symptoms following doctrine of grand generalization. Means, as if the case is having more physical symptoms, particular symptoms, and it can be when we arranged it as a complete symptom, when we complete each and every symptom by using grand generalization, as I told just now, that when we cannot get each and every symptom as a complete symptom, means we cannot get, usually we get by taking the history from patient, location and sensation, which part is affected and how was the sensation, how was the pain. But most of the time the modalities, aggravating factors as well as ameliorating factors, we are not getting these things while taking the case. So complete these symptoms, we considered the man as a whole and considered other parts modalities as a whole person's modalities. This is nothing but doctrine of grand generalization, as well as it is called as doctrine of analogy, which we discuss under philosophical background of Bonning-Hussein's therapeutic pocket book. So this is the very important doctrine which Dr. Hahnemann he introduced to the introduced to homeopaths. He first give this new doctrine to the homeopathy, and when we get the physical symptoms prominently, especially the particular symptoms, and we take each symptom as a complete symptom by using grand generalization, then we use this type of method, that is Bonning-Hussein's method for repertorization. Then what is the Kant's philosophy? So Dr. Kent he gave more importance to general symptoms. Then, which are the general symptoms? Yes, anyone? Which symptoms are called as general symptoms? What is general symptom? What is particular symptoms? Yes, Rani?
Some general symptom related to all over the body and characteristic symptoms are related to particular organ.
Very good. All over body. Okay. Very good. So the general symptoms, they are related to whole person, and the particular symptoms, they are related to one particular part or one particular system or organ. So general symptoms, they are again classified into two groups, that is mental general and physical general. So under mental general, all the mental symptoms, they came under mental general, and under physical general, which thing came under physical general? About, while taking the case, about which thing we inquire or we ask the patient while taking the physical generals? All of you know about case taking. Which things we ask the patient while taking physical general symptoms? Yes,
physical body and functions of the patient.
yes, Rishikesh.
Physical body and function of the patient as a
Not
whole.
audible properly. Please, yes, repeat.
Physical body or function of the patient as a whole, like general modalities, hunger, craving, sleep.
Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes.
uh, the symptoms for which the person uses first pronoun means I instead of my.
Yes. These are, yes, very good. So these are also called as physical general symptoms. When the person use I instead of the word my, it indicates the general symptom. But under physical general, which things we ask the patient? So first we ask the patient about appetite, about his thirst, about his desire, aversion, perspiration. Then if there is any aggravation due to any food, then how his sleep was. We ask about his dreams, then his urine, his motion or bowel habits, uh, about his menstrual history. All these things, it came under physical general. So Dr. Kent, he gave first importance to mental generals because it is near to the vital force, and then he gave importance to physical generals because when there is disturbances at the vital level, then it was reflected first on physical general level, and then it reflected outwardly on any part or organ in the form of particular symptoms. So Dr. Kent, he gave importance to general symptoms, in that first mental generals, physical general, and then characteristic particular. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So in this way, when we get the case which is having prominent mental general symptoms, then physical general symptoms also get prominently in that case, and there are characteristic particular symptoms are also present, then we use the Kent's method for repertorization purpose. Then the third method is Boger's method. As Dr. Boger, he gave importance to causative factors, he gave importance to causative modalities as well as pathological generals and concomitants. So in which case we get the prominent causative modalities, prominent eliminating factors which cause the disease condition, as well as we found pathological general symptoms and or particular symptoms and having concomitant with that symptom, then the Boger's method is helpful for such type of cases. Uh, the cases in which we found causative modalities, pathological generals, and particulars with concomitant. So in such case, this Boger's method is very much helpful for repertorization. Then the fourth method is clinical method. So this method is followed in those cases where the case presents with more of common symptoms of disease or diseases. Means when we use the clinical repertories, when we cannot get any uncommon symptoms, we get only common symptoms related to disease condition. At that time, usually we use the clinical repertories for selection of similar group of remedies. So this method is followed in those cases where we get or in the case which present more common symptoms of the disease. Then according to B.K. Sarkar, Dr. B.K. Sarkar in his book Lectures in Homeopathy has described the following methods of working out the cases. So Dr. B.K. Sarkar, he according to Dr. B.K. Sarkar, he gave or he introduced 6 methods of repertorization. From that, we already discussed about the first 2 methods, that is Hahnemann's and Bonney-Hussein's method, where complete symptoms are available as we discussed in the earlier classification. Then Kent's method, when we get the general and particular symptoms more prominently, then Kent's method of repertorization is useful. Then the third method. When we use the third method, one starts with physical generals and particulars. If we take the case of the patient, and in that case we found only physical general symptoms and particular symptoms. We cannot found it as a complete symptom. We cannot found mental general symptoms in that case, as well as we cannot found any common symptoms of the pathological condition. Then in such case we start with the physical general symptoms and physical particular symptoms. So this is the third method of repertorization. Then the fourth method of repertorization is selection of remedy is made on the basis of striking peculiar symptoms, and then the remedies are differentiated with the help of other symptoms. Means, by taking the case, if we get a striking singular symptom in that case, which we called as, according to Boning-Hussain, what it is called as? Striking singular peculiar characteristic symptom. According to Boning-Hussain, what it is called as? What is that symptom is called as? Yes? Yes? According to Boning-Hussain, what is that symptom? He named that symptom as, yes, Priyanka? Yes? Yes? Name that symptom as? Yes, Rani? So the singular,
QRS,
yes?
PQRS,
Yes, PQRS symptom. This was the name for that symptom, the characteristic symptom. The name PQRS symptom is given, or the Dr. Hahnemann said the symptom is PQRS. According to Boning-Hussain, he said that symptom as a concomitant symptom. Okay, so the when we get such striking peculiar characteristic symptom, uh, and according to that, when we select the remedy with the help of that characteristic symptom, then by using that striking peculiar singular symptom, we select the remedy and remedies, group of remedies, and they are differentiated with the help of other symptoms, with the help of physical generals or his mental generals, whatever we get in that case. So when in this way, the fourth method is useful when we get the uh, a strong, peculiar, striking characteristic symptom in the case. So, when we get such symptom in the case, then with the help of that symptom, we can find out the group of simillimum, and then we can differentiate the medicines from that group with the help of other symptoms from the case. Then the fifth method of repertorization. Physician make use of every means at his command, including patient's personal family history, temperament, complexion, color, texture of skin, particular organs and tissues affected, then location, character, and physical aspect of lesion, probable etiological factors. So, this method, the fifth method of repertorization, it is used when we get all the common symptoms in the case. Then what we should do when we get all the common symptoms? There is no, we cannot get the proper mental symptoms, proper physical general symptoms, or physical characteristic symptoms, particular symptoms. Then in such cases, we take the patient's personal and family history so that we can able to understand the family background, or is there any disease condition present in his family. Then we find out the temperament of the patient. We observe the complexion, color and texture of the skin. So with the help of these things also we can able to find out the miasmatic background behind the patient. Then we also observe, or we also take the details about the tissue which is affected or the organ which is affected. We take the proper history of the part affected, then location, character and physical aspect of the lesion. Which part or which tissue, which organ, which system get affected. We ask in detail about all these things. Then how was the character, how was the pain, how it starts, then how it or how it is it suddenly the pain start. If there is pain, headache, suppose we take example that if there is headache, then which part of the head get affected, right, left, frontal. So we ask about the exact location of the pain in head. Then character, or how the pain starts. Is it sudden? Is it very severe? How was the intensity of the pain? How the pain decreases? With which things the patient feel better? With which things the headache get aggravated? Then physical aspect of the lesion. Is there any other symptoms with headache? So we ask about all these things in detail, though we cannot get the proper or any symptoms while taking the case. Then probable etiological factors. We should also find out what may be the etiology behind this condition of the patient. Why the patient why the patient is suffering, or how the disease condition starts, what may be the cause behind starting the disease, or starting the complaints in the patient. So we should find out what may be the probable cause behind this disease condition. So this method is very much helpful to find out the proper history, because many times while taking the case we cannot get the symptoms in a proper manner, as a complete symptom. When the patient came in your clinic, he cannot give the history that in proper way, like he was giving all his mental generals, physical generals, his particulars in proper way. It is not that always we can get each and every symptom properly, or case properly, history of the patient properly from the patient. So when we cannot get the symptoms properly, then we should consider these symptoms from the patient, that is his personal family history, his temperament, complexion, color and texture of skin. Then his history, or ask about which part about its character of the pain or suffering, then all about his affected part or affected organ we should ask in detail, and also we should find out the probable etiological factors. So this is the fifth method of repertorization, when we get only common symptoms or when we cannot get any proper history from the patient. Then the sixth method of repertorization, when technical nosological terms are selected as main headings. When we select such nosological terms as a main heading, when, as we discussed yesterday, that when the pathology is too much advanced, or many times we get only one or two symptoms from the patient related to his disease condition, then at that time we, to suppress temporary, to give temporary relief to the patient, we select the medicine according to his nosological or his clinical condition, as well as when we cannot get the symptoms properly, then with the help of these nosological terms, we can find out the similar group of remedies related to that disease condition. So, the technical nosological terms, they are selected as a main headings when we cannot get the proper symptoms, or the only one or two symptoms from the patient, or the pathology was too much advanced, and then we want to give the temporary relief from his suffering to the patient. So in that cases we use this sixth method of repertorization. Is it clear, everyone, how the methods of repertorization they are given by Dr. Hahnemann, as well as how this was the these methods of repertorization, the first four methods of repertorization, that is Boni-Hussein's method, Kent's method, Boger's method, and clinical method. These are given, this classification or these methods of repertorization, they are given by Dr. Hahnemann, and Dr. B.K. Sarkar, he added in that more two methods of repertorization. So he gave total six methods of repertorization, and according to case we have to select the which method is useful for which type of case, because all the methods of repertorization, they are based upon the philosophical background of that particular method. Or while repertorizing the case, we should find out which case is, which repertory is useful for which case, because if we get mental general symptoms, then we get the general symptoms prominently, then we use the Kent's method. So in the Kent's repertory, or the repertories which are based on the deductive logic, when we get the complete symptom, then we use the repertories based on the inductive logic, that is Boni-Hussein's repertories. When we get advanced pathology or advanced clinical condition, when we cannot, when we get the proper limiting or positive factors in the case, then in such cases we use the repertory which is based on the philosophy, which give importance to the pathological generals, and this we use the Boger's repertories for such type of cases. So in this way, according to philosophical background, we select the repertory, and according to the same philosophical background, we also select the method of repertorization. So we can able to reach towards the proper civil. Understand everyone? Is it clear? Is it clear?